happy to share this moment with you. And as you can already tell by the title, I'd like to address the topic of relieving stress. It's an issue that almost every one of us faces every here and then. And in this session, I'd like for us to relieve ourselves of that sensation of stress or the physical and mental sensations that it brings along. But also I'd like to share some thoughts that might help you in the future to not get stressed in the first place, or at least some advice that might help you to get rid of that stress if you are already sensing it. So before we get started, I'd like to invite you to get into a comfortable position in case you haven't already, and don't get stressed to do that quickly or anything. Let's just take a moment and enjoy the silence, and then we'll get started. To me, stress is a form of pain. It builds up inside the chest area, cramps it up, so it cramps up around the lungs, near the heart, and it affects not only this area, but our body in general, but obviously also our mind. In my opinion, stress normally is a good indicator for us that we're being lost in ego. When we're centered, we tend to be peaceful and not to take so many issues personally. Also, we don't see them as something that bothering oftentimes. When we're lost in ego, we often look at things from a way more superficial level, and therefore things that normally, when we'd be centered within, that wouldn't really matter, actually play quite a big role in our life, although they are so superficial and so unnecessary, sometimes even harmful. So my best advice to relieve yourself of the sense of stress is to become centered. So why don't we make that happen first? Actually, we're already in the middle of it. As I've mentioned, we perceive stress in different ways, often at the same time, both physically and mentally, for example, and we can segment it even more. But what I'm trying to get to is that first off, we can start off with physical well being. In order for you to feel comfortable in your skin and where you sit, we shall focus our awareness entirely on our bodies now. Close your eyes and breathe deeply into your belly. All that you focus on is the feeling of fresh air running through your body and filling your belly, and then this, the sense of breathing out all the negativity and restrictions that cross its way. You breathe out all this emotional and physical garbage, you could say. Relax. From the top of your head downwards, focus on every part of your body, and if something feels cramped up, point your complete awareness on it, breathe into that area, and relax. I'll give you some time now to do so, and feel how bit by bit you feel more and more comfortable within your skin and how it affects your mood. Life's good, isn't it? It's certainly too good to feel bad about things that don't really matter, or that you simply cannot change. If something bothers you, what good is it to get mad about that and maybe even violently express your anger? When you're in pain, why should you add hate, which to me also is a form of pain? Doesn't seem like a good idea to me. Now that on the physical plane we feel a little bit more relaxed, I'd like to dive a bit more into the emotional realm. What we've done so far hopefully already had an impact on your emotional status as well, but now I'd like to place an emphasis on that. Breathe deeply into your chest and search for any restrictions that you may have left out during your scan earlier. Breathe out any feeling of hurt with a passionate breath of relief. It might even be some sort of a sigh of relief. But feel how your chest area, and remember that I said that this is an area that is especially under stress when we feel stressed. Feel how we open this up now. Isn't it liberating? Feel yourself becoming calmer and calmer, and sense how this feeling of being stressed decreases. When we meditate, we tend to, at first, get this feeling that we're even more stressed, even more tired than we had thought, perhaps. Because we bit by bit get conscious of how our body is feeling and of how we've treated our body recently. And during the meditation, we make use of this awareness for the issue, and we bit by bit relieve ourselves of this stress, of these negative emotions that have been trapped inside of us, and we use this conscious awareness to get rid of that. Finally, let's now point our awareness to our head. Breathe into that area now. It might sound a little weird, but just be aware of your head and breathe consciously while you do so. Become aware of the space in your head, but perhaps also you've started to become aware of the space around your head. Don't try to force yourself into perceiving anything now that I say. Just be open to whatever you sense. I want to encourage you to perhaps free yourself from the thought of being different and independent from the world. Maybe try not to differentiate between the space outside your body and the space within. Instead of perceiving things as them happening to you, maybe try to feel connected in a way and as a part of one big happening. And yet again, don't try to force yourself into any images in your head, any emotions or anything. I just want to encourage you to be open. Perceiving things as them happening to you. If you view things from that perspective, you quickly get stressed because you feel, in a way, sometimes as if you are under attack, as if it were you against the rest, as if you were alone and you'd have to deal with this now. And it just causes so much negativity within, because we constantly have the feeling that we have to defend ourselves. But if you rather feel connected and as a part of this one big happening, as a part of the dance of one energy manifesting itself in billions of different ways, you don't see it. You don't see what now we call issues as fights that you need to go through right now. You much rather tend to view them as a happening. You are part of this movie that's playing right now, and that's what's happening. Make the best out of it. You're an actor, and you're a good actor. You're good at this. But I don't mean an actor in the sense of playing different roles and being someone that you're actually not. I don't want to invite you to get lost in any ego constructs, any illusions of who you think yourself to be, who deep inside you might already know you simply aren't. Be pure. It has such an impact on the degree of stress that you sense, such an impact on if something actually bothers you to the degree that you feel stress in the first place. Life's a miracle, and now I'd love for you to get up and stay aware of that beauty and that peace that can be found just about anywhere. Just about anywhere you look, if you truly look at it with your heart. Be present in everyday life, and when the feeling of stress arises and you at that moment perhaps are able to spare a minute or 2, 3, 4, or 5, which often you can, then just take a moment and just breathe. Become conscious and go on from there. You might even find out that this way you save a lot of time, because what you do, you do more thoughtfully, because you are right there at what you do. There's less chaos in your head, because when we reach a certain degree of stress, it immobilizes us to a certain degree. It makes it hard for us to be productive also. So become centered and go on from there. Be free and calm, and remember that sense of love and peace deep within. At least that's how I view, well, basically life itself. Thank you for sharing this powerful moment, and I sincerely hope you benefit from it and perhaps spread the love. Take care. Peace.